Hello everyone and welcome back to another video on my channel. Now today I'm going to be talking about the current Luton Town players that will be out of contract in the summer. But before I get into that, you guys have been smashing my like targets, you know, and last video I set you guys a like target of 35 likes, you smashed it. So in this video I'm setting a like target of 40 likes. If you guys can hit 40 likes on this video, I will upload another video this week. So when I'm talking about the current players that are out of contract at Luton, I will talk about their time at the club, you know, and that's how I'm going to rate them. I'm going to rate them on their performances for Luton and what they've done for the club. According to the Luton Today article, there are 8 players that are out of contract in the summer. You've got Luke Berry, Danny Hylton, McManaman, Glen Rea, Elliott Lee, Marek Steck, Lloyd Jones, Jake Jervis. And then you've got 3 players that have an option in their contracts for a further 12 months. Those players are Daniels, Butterfield and Lawal. Now we're going to start off this video with Luke Berry. Now Luke Berry, we signed him when we were in League 2. Very good player, had a fantastic first year, but unfortunately got a massive injury. But he recovered quickly from it. Came back in League 1, done well in League 1, and then in the Championship, he has been in and out of the team. Well, I don't think Graham Jones likes him as much as the fans do. I really like Berry. He's a really hard-working player. He gives 100% every game I see him play. You know, he's good at set pieces as well. And overall, his time at Luton, he's done really well. So I don't see why not. Why can't we offer him a 1 to 2 year deal? He hasn't been amazing in the Championship, but he also hasn't been like terrible either. So for me, I would offer Luke Berry a contract, maybe a 1 to 2 year deal. I think he deserves it, and he's been a really good player for us. Next up, we're going to be talking about Danny Hylton. Now Danny has been a fantastic striker for us, you know, especially in League 2. He's been scoring a load of goals in League 2. But when we got promotion to League 1, he didn't really do it in League 1. You know, injuries, suspensions played a part in that. And then when we got promoted to the Championship, he hasn't featured because of injuries. Now, for the remaining games left in the season, I would like to know what Danny can do in those games if they get played. Now, I reckon if he does well in those remaining games, then I don't see why not. Why can't we offer him another year? I really like Danny, and I think it's only fair to offer him another deal. He's done really well, but if we get relegated to League 1, then we might as well keep Danny, because I do think he can do it at League 1 level. My overall opinion on Danny is, if we stay in the Championship and we play those remaining games and Danny does well, give him another deal. If we get relegated, then obviously I think give him another deal anyway. But if he does bad in those remaining games, then I don't think we should offer him a deal. Next up we have McManaman. Now when we signed McManaman, I was expecting big things because he's back under his old manager in Graham Jones, and we haven't seen a consistent McManaman. You know, he's popped up a few times, he's got the odd goal, but he hasn't done enough. He should have done a lot more. Now, if the remaining games do get played, I want to see a lot more from him, and if he does well in those remaining games, then I don't see why not we can't offer him another year. But if he doesn't, then I don't see why we should keep him. I do think there must be better players out there who can put in more consistent performances. Next up, we're going to be talking about Glen Rea. Now Glen Rea, for me, he should be offered a new deal by now. I don't know what's happening behind the scenes, but he should be offered a new contract. He's been fantastic for us. League 2, he was amazing. League 1, he got injured. He got that major injury in League 1, and he come back in the Championship in January, and he's literally killed it. You know, he's smashing it. I think since he's come back from injury in the Championship, he's got the best defensive midfielder stats. He's been amazing. And I think the reason why Glen Rea hasn't been offered a new deal is because I think Luton wanted to see what Glen Rea would be like in the Championship. But now everyone has seen what Glen Rea is like in the Championship, he should be offered a new deal. For me, Glen Rea should be offered a long-term deal. He's done fantastic for us. I don't remember a bad game from Glen Rea. And coming back from injury in the Championship, he smashed it. So for me, you are looking at a 2 to 3 year deal for Glen Rea, and I don't see why not. Next up we have Elliott Lee. Now Elliott Lee, he didn't really do it in League 2, you know. It was more Ollie Lee doing it in League 2 than him. But when we got to League 1, the first 6 months, he smashed it, you know. But then something happened, his form dipped, and yeah, he didn't really recover from that. And then in the Championship, he's rarely featured. And I don't think he's good enough for the Championship. I think that's been made quite clear in Graham Jones not actually playing him at all. I think for me, Elliott Lee will be released at the end of the season. Next up, we have Marit Steck. Now, when we signed Steck, first 6 months, it was brilliant in League Two. But he kept making like a lot of mistakes, and they cost us in the end. And he ended up getting replaced by Shea, and then Shea didn't really look back from that, to be fair. Shea smashed it in League Two. In League One, Steck started the season off, done poorly. Shea came straight back in, smashed it. And yeah, Steck's not even featured in the Championship either. So for me, I think it's time to say goodbye to Steck. Not consistent enough. He's too like mistake prone. And yeah, I think Shea, Sluga, they are better keepers. Next up, we have Lloyd Jones. Now, Lloyd Jones, he's been unlucky when we signed him in January when we were in League Two. It's hard to get into a promotion winning team. And then in League One, he couldn't get in because we were obviously in a like title winning team then. And yeah, Championship wasn't up to the standard of Championship football. But when he went out on loan to Plymouth, they got relegated. So he hasn't really done much. And he's only gone out on loan to Northampton, who are in League Two. So for me, I just don't think he's up to the standard of Championship football. And that's where we are looking to be in the future. So for me, I would say Lloyd Jones has to go because he hasn't done enough. And he's been unlucky, but also at the same time, I just don't think he's at the same level as other players are. Next up, we have Jake Jervis. Just like Jones, he came in January, couldn't get into the side. He played like a couple of games. He wasn't that good. League One, he couldn't get in the team either. He just wasn't a good player, to be fair, Jervis. He's quite a poor player. Looking back at the signing of Jervis, it's a poor one. You know, he hasn't done anything really. He hasn't done anything special. And yeah, Jervis, for me, I think has to be released. Now we move on to the 3 players that have options in their contracts for a further 12 months. Starting off with Daniels. Now Daniels, for me, he hasn't set the world alight. Hasn't been too bad. He's been alright, basically. And maybe another pre-season under Jones may do him some good. Maybe if we get relegated to League One, he'd be a really good player at that level. So he's a good player to have as a backup option, really. If I'm going to be fair, I would offer him those 12 months. Next up, we have Jacob Butterfield. For me, I really like Butterfield. He's one of those players who keeps the ball really well, and I think he's done well this season. But for some reason, I don't think Jones actually likes him as a player, and he just hasn't featured that much this season. I don't actually think he will get his, like, contract extended for a further 12 months, but if it was me, I would extend it because I think he's a good player at this level and I do think he can do it, but unfortunately I don't think his deal will be extended. And finally, we have Lawal. Now for me, Lawal going forward in terms of goals and assists, he hasn't done it, but in terms of being fouled, being dangerous, being a really good dribbler, he has done it. You know, I think at one point in the season, he was the most fouled player in the league. And also, he's in the top 10, like, in best dribblers in the Championship at the moment. I think extend Lawal's current deal. That's if he wants to. I know we had the mixed up with him last year with, like, him saying no to a few contract offers. If he wants to stay, then, yeah, I will offer him another 12 months. I think he's doing really well with us. He just needs to add goals and assists to his game. And I think he's done alright in the Championship. So for me, I would extend Lawal's current deal. So out of those 11 players I mentioned, 7 I would obviously extend and give them new deals. 4 I would release. Those 4 players I would release are Elliott Lee, Marit Steck, Lloyd Jones and Jake Jervis. There you have it, guys. That is the end of the video. Hopefully you did enjoy it. Comment down below the players which you would release come the end of the season. If you haven't already, make sure you drop a like. Smash 40 likes on this video for another video. Subscribe to the channel if you are new. And don't forget to follow me across all my social media. And I'll see you guys in the next video.